Humans are weird. Would you like to hear a story about it? Hello, my wonderful viewers, and welcome to this episode of 22 Days of October Oddity. As you may or may not know, our adorable little spider alien friend quilx'tch has a campaign going on over on Indiegogo to get his research into human weirdness published. That is, he is ready to present over 60,000 words of the finest weirdness humanity has to offer. The link is below the video, so click on over and take a look. Buy a book. Now, on with the story. Humans Are Weird, Omnivorous, an audio recording by Betty Adams. So you just eat anything? The breadbox-sized aliens' vocal cords were perhaps the closest to humans of any of the speaking species they had encountered. They tended to be quieter and pitched lower, but the one that Mac had dubbed Threes had learned to shout early on and knew how to aim his words in the thin air. Well, not anything, Mac corrected as he tightened the bolts on the underside of the hoverbike he was working on. There are a lot of chemical compounds that are toxic in plants. Of course there are, Threes said, exasperation tinting his voice. It does not serve the plant's end for you to devour their photosynthesis surfaces. They pump all sorts of anti-predation compounds into their energy-rich biomass. Mac heard the rustling that was the ungulate's version of footsteps, and the human couldn't resist a smile at the image of the giant caterpillar-like creature moving across the ground. Fortunately, a species that expressed its chosen collective name as a rippling motion along the dreadlock-like appendages that seemed to compose the entirety of their bodies, that varied from individual to individual as well as from subculture to subculture, didn't mind getting named by other cultures that they met. It is far safer to feed on the simpler creatures that the water is practically teeming with. Threes made his way up onto Mac's chest, and Mac absently pushed him to a more comfortable position. Maybe safer, Mac agreed as he reached his hand deep into the guts of the machine, but not as convenient. Not much of the human population lives with enough water to make that a viable option. Threes clicked into stress and moved up Mac's chest to prod gently at his chin with, Mac assumed and hoped, his frontal appendages. But how? Threes demanded. Mac grunted and gave the hand signal for needing more information. Apparently human fingers were one of the best cross-species communication aids that the ungulates had ever discovered. Humans like water, Threes explained his query. I know you don't live in it like we do, but you... Mac assumed Threes was struggling with trying to communicate a complex ungulate word position to someone who wasn't looking at him. You swim, and I think the closest word is wade, just like we do, and it is a valued exercise. Yep, we do love our bodies of water, Mac agreed, and his hands finally found the loose nut he had been feeling around for. Personally, I grew up near Gichigumi, went swimming a lot as a kid. But not everyone is so fortunate. Threes pressed forward again, and Mac shoved him down again. Keep down for a while, Threes. I gotta get this loose. But yeah, some humans can go their entire lives without ever seeing enough standing water to wade in, let alone grow enough biomass to feed the population. Perhaps it has something to do with your fantastic biomass and nutrient needs, Threes suggested, trying to keep his voice level. But Mac could feel the ungulate shivering at the clearly horrible thought of desert living. Well, lots of folks even prefer it, Mac said with a grin. It certainly explains your dependence on Omnivorous, Threes speculated. Omnivory, Mac corrected absently. Threes was particular about his languages and liked to get it right. And that is our dose of daily weirdness for today. If you found that you like what you heard, wander on over to Indiegogo and purchase a copy of Humans Are Weird. I have the data. The link is below. If you don't want to purchase the book or find you can't at the moment, share this around if you think it's worth sharing. Hit up Facebook, Tumblr, whoever. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, and I will see you in the next chapter.